Let me start with a strange question. Have you ever finished a video, closed a book, or scrolled past a long thread, and thought, yeah, I get this. But then later, when you try to explain it, use it, or apply it, nothing came out? Not confusion, not uncertainty, just emptiness. That feeling isn't a lack of intelligence. It isn't laziness. And it's definitely not because you didn't pay attention. It's because you fell into one of the most common and costly mental traps of the modern world. You confused exposure with understanding. And the reason this trap is so dangerous is that it feels exactly like learning. Today, I want to break down why your brain mistakes familiarity for comprehension, how content platforms quietly reinforce this illusion, and how to rewire the way you learn so knowledge actually sticks, transfers, and compounds. Because once you see this clearly, you can't unsee it. And it changes how you read, watch, study, and even use AI. Section 1. Why your brain lies to you. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Your brain is not designed to measure understanding. It's designed to measure recognition. When you hear an idea repeatedly, your brain starts tagging it as familiar. And familiarity feels good. It feels safe. It feels like progress. Psychologists call this the illusion of explanatory depth. In one classic set of studies, people were asked how well they understood everyday objects, like a zipper or a toilet. Most participants rated their understanding as very high. But when asked to actually explain how these things worked, step by step, their confidence collapsed. Nothing changed except one thing. They moved from recognizing an idea to reconstructing it. That gap between recognition and reconstruction is where fake understanding lives. And modern content environments exploit this perfectly. Section 2. The scrolling effect. Think about how you consume information today. Short videos, carousels, threads, summaries of summaries of summaries. Each one gives you clean language, confident, deliver clear conclusions, but almost no cognitive friction. You're never forced to pause, retrieve, struggle, or test what you know. So your brain says, I've seen this before. I understand it. But what it really means is, I recognize the shape of this idea. Recognition is passive. Understanding is active. And platforms optimize for the first, not the second. Because friction hurts retention. But friction is where learning happens. Section 3. Why rewatching feels productive. This is where most smart people get trapped. They don't just watch once. They rewatch. They reread. They resurvey. They highlight. And every pass feels smoother than the last. But smoother does not mean deeper. It means your brain is relying on pattern memory, not conceptual understanding. Neuroscience backs this up. Studies on learning consistently show re-exposure increases fluency but retrieval increases retention. In other words, seeing information again makes it feel easier. But trying to recall it, without prompts, makes it stick. This is why people can binge educational content for years and still feel stuck at the same level. They're feeding familiarity, not building models. Section 4. Understanding is transfer, not storage. Here's a reframe that changes everything. If you understand something, you can use it in a new context. That's it. Not quote it. Not recognize it. Not nod along. Transfer is the test. If you learn productivity principles but can't redesign your day, you don't understand them. If you watch psychology content but can't predict behavior, you don't understand it. If you learn AI tools but can't adapt them to your workflow, you don't understand them. Understanding is not possession. It's leverage. And leverage only appears when knowledge moves. Section 5. The note-taking lie. Let's talk about note-taking, because this is where many learners sabotage themselves. Most notes are just external storage. They capture information, but never force transformation. Copying is not thinking. Highlighting is not processing. Saving is not encoding. Real learning notes answer different questions. Why does this work? When would this fail? How does this connect to what I already know? How would I explain this to someone else? If your notes don't change the idea, they won't change you. Section 6. Ari makes this problem worse and better. AI is the ultimate amplifier of this confusion. Used poorly, it turns learning into instant answers, perfect explanation, zero effort understanding, which feels amazing and teaches almost nothing. But used correctly, AI becomes a friction generator. Instead of asking, "Explain this to me," you ask, "Quiz me on this, force me to apply this, challenge my assumptions, give me a problem where this fails." AI shouldn't remove thinking. It should stress test it. The difference between shallow learners and high-leverage learners is not access. It's how much discomfort they allow in the learning process. Section 7. The 3 levels of knowing. Here's a simple framework to keep you honest. Level 1. Exposure. You've seen it. You recognize it. Level 2. Explanation. You can explain it clearly, without notes. Level 3. Application. You can use it in unfamiliar situations. Most people stop at level 1 and mistake confidence for competence. Real growth begins at level 2 and compounds at level 3. Every time you learn something new, ask, "What level am I actually at?" That single question prevents years of fake progress. Here's the idea I want you to leave with. Understanding is not a feeling. It's a capability. If learning feels smooth, easy, and frictionless, you're probably just exposed. If learning feels slow, effortful, and slightly uncomfortable, you're probably building something real. The goal is not to consume more ideas. It's to turn fewer ideas into mental tools. And once you stop confusing exposure with understanding, you don't just learn faster. You finally start learning for real.